Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. This time I'm doing something a little bit different compared to my usual videos. Today we're going to look at the graphics settings menu for X-Plane 12 and going through the different sliders to see how it impacts the way that your simulator looks. Towards the end of this video, I'll also show how the FPS change based on transitioning from minimal to low to medium to high to maximum and so forth. So let's start off with the texture resolution. With texture resolution, the focus point is the aircraft and the buildings. As it increases, the quality of the buildings and the aircraft increases as well. The focus point of rendering resolution should be the speaker and the screens. As it increases, the speaker begins to gain a higher quality and definition, and when it gets set to off, the screens are no longer blurry. With ambient occlusion off, the trees and buildings looks like they have no shadows, and when you turn it to low, there is a stark difference between low and off. Low, medium, high, and ultra don't have that big of a difference, but I'm sure you could spot something if you look very closely. RCAS is just sharpening. When set to 0, there is no sharpening, and increasing it makes some edges sharper. Although by increasing this, you may see that there is a worse anti-aliasing, and there are more jagged edges as a result. Use this with caution. You can see this on how the runway and the lights change. Anisotropic filtering is a big one. When looking at the runway numbers, as anisotropic filtering increases, it becomes clearer to read at an angle. When looking top down, there is not really a big issue. Anti-aliasing changes how many jagged edges there are. When it increases, edges become smoother. When using FXAA, it decreases the amount of jagged edges even further, but this should only be done on monitors with a lower resolution, as a high resolution can cause a severe crash in performance. With cloud quality, as the setting increases, the quality increases as well. There are more shadows underneath the clouds, they gain a higher definition, and when set to ultra, the clouds are rendered differently than before. With shadow quality, when set to aircraft only the aircraft will have shadows and they will look good. Moving it up to low, the quality of the shadows decreases, but now everything has shadows. As it goes up, the quality increases again. As world object and vegetation density increases, as you can probably imagine, more buildings and vegetation appears as a result. When you set this to ultra, everything should be filled up completely. Additionally, you can set the vegetation to be rendered 3D instead of 2D. Additionally, at nighttime, if you want more night lighting, you should change the world object density, as changing how far everything will be rendered will have no effect on lighting in my experience. Speaking of render distance, the higher the setting, the further out you can see objects before they start to load in. Finally is the drop parked aircraft setting. When you set this to on, aircraft will start to render at the gates. There's also one for boats, but I wasn't able to see any in action. Finally, let's look at how the FPS is impacted based off of the settings. There are some clips that you can look at, and the settings menu will be displayed right before I roll the clips. This is the last clip that I'm going to show before I end the video. So if you like this video, make sure to give a thumbs up and subscribe to see more videos like this. Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this last clip, and I will see you in the next one. Happy flying!